Okay, y'all, so let's talk about Final Destination Bloodlines. This is the latest film in the Final Destination franchise, and I know what you're thinking. We've been there, we've seen it, we've done it all. Is there anything new they can do to the franchise? And I'm there with you. I thought at first, I was like, there's no way they're going to make a Final Destination movie good. I mean, there's just no way. We've been 5 deep into the Final Destination franchise. What else can they do, right? But I assure you, I am wrong, and anybody else who's doubting this movie is wrong as well. Before we get into it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We're on the road to 40,000 subscribers. Well, actually, we just reached 40,000. Now we're on to 50,000, so let's get to it. But let's talk about Final Destination Bloodlines and everything we thought about this movie and then some. So I had the opportunity to watch this movie yesterday, well, 2 days ago actually, and I was very hesitant going into it. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, I just don't know what else they can do. I remember going to see Final Destination 5 in theaters, and the rest of them I didn't see in theaters. I saw when they were on TV, like when they would replay them. Remember back in the day when you had cable and stuff, and these movies would just be on randomly? Well, I did watch Final Destination 5 in theaters. I remember going to go see that, and I was just like, yeah, this is such a great conclusion to the franchise, right? But nonetheless, we are here with Bloodlines. They want to give another wraparound, and this works as a prequel to everything, honestly, and as a sequel, and as a wrap up to the franchise, in my opinion. But who knows? If this movie does great at the box office, we could get 2 more. But nonetheless, does this movie rock or does it not? So this comes actually from a story treatment from John Watts. If that sounds familiar, it's the guy behind the new Spider-Man films, and it is a movie that I was just wondering, where were they going to take this? So as you see in the trailer, they sort of tried to take it all the way back to what apparently caused everything in the Final Destination franchise. Why is death so on top of all these people, right? Well, it's this one event that happened decades ago, and the lineage of all those people that were saved there has been followed by death. And that's all I'll say about them. And you have this one family at the center of it, and now they're trying to figure out, how do we outsmart death? How do we get the upper hand here? And you see them trying and trying, and I really love that this film does really take it back to everything we know. Like, there's little hints here and there. It doesn't necessarily try to really go back to that nostalgia, but it's dropping it here and there. And at the same time, if you've seen all the other movies, you'll just be watching and be like, I remember that. So I thought that was great the way they did that. And I also love this aspect of a family now trying to band together in order to move forward. And it is the most emotional film, I will say, because you actually care about these characters and you see what they're going through, but also because Tony Todd is here in one of his final roles. And honestly, there is a speech that Tony Todd gives here that I honestly feel just came from the heart from Tony Todd. I don't really feel that this was written or anything. As you know, Tony Todd tragically passed away not too long ago, and this was going to be one of his final roles. And in this final role, he gives a speech that is so perfect with the movie, but just with life in general, and I think with what Tony Todd was going through at the time. And honestly, what a great send-off to such an amazing legend and icon that Tony Todd is in cinema, and just beautifully done. Honestly, it had me a little teary just hearing him and watching him in the movie. And overall, just beautifully, beautifully done. So whether you hate the movie, love the movie or not, this is just an incredible send-off for Tony Todd, in my opinion, as well, and everything he has done for all of us. So now you're wondering, what do I think about the movie overall when it comes to the freshness of it? It is the 6th in the franchise, and the franchise continues to be a franchise that showcases its true villain as death itself. So you don't really ever get to see it, quote unquote, but you do see how it sort of works and how it sort of tries to get everybody. And in this movie, I will say the kills that it does are creative. It does really elevate it a bit more, and it sort of pokes fun. Not really pokes fun, but it's a bit more meta in the way that it's like you see it coming, and so do some of the characters as well, and they're trying their best to avoid it. And you see things from the past sort of be brought up as well, that we've seen other deaths in the Final Destination franchise and how they're poked fun of a bit. And I really did love that aspect of it as well, because yes, indeed, it's always going to be the same type of setups, quote unquote, like it's so elaborate and stuff like that, and you're just like, what just happened? But I think that they really do have a good time, and it's really fun to see it happen as well. There are so many pops in my theater that happen when like certain deaths came or certain things happened, and I think that that's what makes it such a great film to watch with a big crowd, because there is just so much of this movie that is a dark comedy at its core, because it's things that are so elaborate, so like, what the hell could that ever happen in real life, you know? And it's just so out there and outlandish that it really does vibe well with an audience, like a comedy of sorts. I really do love that they try to put a little bit of heart into this movie as well, with the family dynamics and moms and things of that nature, which I don't want to get too many spoilers out there, but I really do think that makes it a bit different than the rest that we've seen before, when it's just like a group of friends and all of that. So I really do think that this was such a welcoming and fresh experience to the franchise. Side note, I did see this in IMAX, and did I ever think I was going to watch a Final Destination movie in IMAX? No. Do I need it? Yes. It was great. Honestly, I think the way they filmed this was really elaborate, especially with some of the kills and the bigger set pieces. It really brings you into this world that is so wild, and you're just there witnessing it all happen, and you're just like, damn, this is some crazy ass shit. There are a lot of memorable characters here, and I do want to get more into specifics with them, but that's going to be on our spoiler talk tomorrow, so stay tuned for that video where we talk about the plot of the movie, what comes next, and how exactly did it end, because this movie has a truly insane ending. One of those endings that I was just like, what the hell are we doing? In the best way possible. So overall, if you're a fan of Final Destination, the franchise, you are going to love this. If you've been seeking something new from Final Destination and sort of a more freshness to it, this one's for you as well. If you're a horror lover, if you love these crazy ass kills that happen, if you just want to see Tony Todd in his final role, if you just want to go out there to see a very dark comedy, it's very dark, I will tell you, this one's for you. Like, I just don't see, if you've been a fan of the franchise or if you've hated the franchise and all of that, why not give this one a chance? Because I think it really is doing something different, something fresh, and it's just a good time, you know? It's just a good time for any horror lover. So truly one of those movies that I think I might see again with other people that haven't seen it, just to see their reactions to some of the things. Especially in the beginning, there is a huge reaction that a lot of people had, and I think it's one of those that you just want to see how people react to it. And that's the whole thing about the movie going experience, y'all. It's the communal experience of watching movies with other people and just enjoying it. So overall, I really do love Bloodlines, and I'm excited to see what they want to do with the franchise if they want to move forward, because I think it's in good hands, and I think this one is definitely going to please a lot of people. Probably number one at the box office this weekend, because it truly, I think the word of mouth is going to spread for this one. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, make sure you follow us for more on things you love. We do have a review for Friendship, which is also coming out this weekend, so stay tuned for that. As always, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Let's get to it. As always, stay safe, stay positive.